Whoa. Hello, Gemini. Okay, cards are sticking out. Welcome to your August not soul session, connection session. That poking out just totally threw me off. Welcome to your August connection session. I'm Princess India. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend and whatnot or whatever. So we're gonna be looking at, oh good God, why are these cards falling? We're going to be looking at, I'm so sorry, Gemini. There's been a lot of distractions that have been going on while I'm doing all of these connection sessions, and I'm trying to get myself together. But anywho, we're going to be looking at an energy between you and your person of interest. And then we're going to be looking at a more specific spread where we're going to look at how your person of interest thinks as well as feels about you. I'm trying to get myself situated here. So pay me no mind. Anywho, the overall energy representing Gemini for the month of August is the Three of Swords. Interesting. Okay. Huh. Okay, Gemini, this may sound kind of weird, but the vibe I kind of get with this Gemini is that, I mean, this could be, I'll say it two different ways. This could be recent or this could be triggered from the past. So meaning that there could be a heartbreak that you guys are dealing with at present, meaning like your person of interest and you potentially went your separate ways. But then I also have this feeling that a relationship that ended some time ago, or it could even be like a history of past relationships with different people that being triggered in the present, which all comes to there being unresolved emotions. So I can say this that kind of encapsulate both of those. So whether this is like a history of failed relationships or this is a recent connection that ended, there's unresolved emotions that Gemini is dealing with in the month of August. I really should start saying like mid-August, like mid-month until like the next month, because these really cover from like the 15th to the 15th of the next month, but whatever. But anywho, but I feel it's unresolved emotions. So it doesn't matter the pathway in which you got here. So it really doesn't matter whether it's like, you know, a history or if it's something recent. It's just more or less in this time frame for this reading. You guys are going to be dealing with unresolved emotions and those kind of being at the surface. What that says to me is that it's something that needs to be dealt with, because by default, whenever we have unresolved emotions or things that we haven't necessarily gotten closure on, it puts us in an energy of being emotionally unavailable. So we're not really able to be, vulnerable or engage in a potentially healthy relationship with other people, because we're just not in the emotional space to do so. Hence why it's swords. Emotions are suppressed and we're in the headspace. Now, your person of interest, interesting. Cover up the peen. Your person of interest is showing up as the devil in the reverse. That's Capricorn energy. So with your person of interest, what is looking like to me is their kind of focus in August is more or less breaking toxic patterns, which is kind of a theme I've been seeing with person of interests for other signs this month. So it's more or less how it is that they've been approaching life in general, meaning if they had struggles with addiction, like they were drinkers or like smokers or, you know, druggies, whatever, they're trying to curb that behavior. Or if it's just something that's more like, you know, personality behavior focused, it's them trying to disengage with stellar behaviors and kind of turn over a new leaf. So with them, they're kind of in an energy of holding themselves back to a certain extent, of not wanting to engage in pattern behaviors that they feel aren't necessarily effective or are conducive to their progress. Now, the energy between the two of you, interesting. Wait, cover that up. We have the Empress in the reverse, and this is Venetian energy. So that's Taurus as well as Libra energy. So, like I was saying with you guys, Gemini, with the Three of Swords, when I was saying when we have unresolved or like even repressed emotions, we are emotionally unavailable. I see that between the two of you. With your person of interest is more them being self-focused, like focused on themselves and fixing stuff in that regard. So even when I say like triggered, it's not necessarily like a negative trigger. So say like if this is a new person that you guys are talking to, right? Or like a friend that you have a crush on or something like that. I would say that they have been through something potentially similar to you, whether that's recent, breakup of a connection, or if it's just a history of things. And this person is kind of wised up to say, like, I'm not going to date right now. I'm going to focus on myself, cut back on drinking, like, whatever it is. But them being kind of focused on themselves to keep them from engaging in those behaviors, which would by default, when you're self-focused, it makes you emotionally unavailable. But with Gemini, I feel it's more romantic related. I mean, it's the possibility of it being like a life disappointment, but not necessarily. I feel specifically for Gemini, this is, it's emotions that are tied to romantic stuff, whether past or present. But I feel both of you are kind of in a tad bit of an emotionally unavailable space, which is the reason why the Empress in the reverse is showing up here, because there's not really much nurturing or support or caring. Not saying they don't care or you don't care, but it's just there's not a lot of nurturing or emotional reciprocity and things of the sort that are going on, and the energy between the two of you is pretty stagnant. But overall, I can see this in two different ways, whether this is like a new person, like I was saying, or if this is actually a connection where you guys were like in a romantic relationship. The thing I would have to say with this, though, if you're watching this for a person that you are in a relationship with, which of course you are, I mean, unless, you're just curious to see the new person you have a crush on or whatever, I would have to say that this would be a couple that is broken up. So you guys aren't, I wouldn't say you're even communicating either, but I would say that you guys are definitely broken up for sure. So I don't really necessarily see this as something. I mean, it's possible. I just feel like it would be a stretch, in my opinion, if this was someone that you guys are actively with, because like say if you were in the same house, it would literally be that the two of you like aren't speaking to each other and you're living as like roommates or something. But anywho, getting to our more specific spread of how your person thinks and feels about you. Okay, first card in their fleeting thoughts, we have the Two of Wands in the reverse. I'm staring at these because I'm like, is there a boob somewhere? The next card that we have is the Queen of Cuppies. Interesting. Then we have, the King of Swords. That's interesting. And in their conscious thoughts, we have the Emperor, which is Aries energy. That's fascinating. Okay, so in your person of interest fleeting thoughts, Gemini, with this Two of Wands, they see where you guys are at present as more or less as I cannot freaking talk, at a standstill, right? It's more or less, and I kind of see too, it's an element here of unresolved issues. In some level or another, the reason why you guys can't move forward is because of the past. And I'm still going to say this in the context of, it doesn't matter if this is a new person in your life or this is someone that you've been dating. And when I say new, I don't mean like, a stranger. That's why I say the context of this is kind of like you guys are dating, like you went on a couple of dates, or this is someone that, you're cool with or whatever, that you like or something like along those lines. But or like I was saying, if this is like a recent breakup or something like that, but this person's overreaching perception of this situation in reference to you is there's an inability for the two of you to move forward from here because of stuff that's happened past tense. But it doesn't matter if the stuff that happened past tense is with them or if it was with someone else. And what I can say to make that make sense is, like, say if this is a person that you're newly dating and they know about your relationship history or your most recent breakup, they're feeling like the fact that, Gemini has unresolved emotions in reference to their past or this most recent relationship. There's really no way for us to move forward, right? Because they have to, get clear, get closure, heal from whatever the stuff that they've been through past tense. Now, going back to your person's overall energy being the I was about to say the Capricorn in the reverse, being the devil in the reverse, that's more or less speaking to how I said they're trying to step out of toxic patterns. It's almost like them not emotionally investing into this situation because of them seeing, oh, Gemini is not emotionally available, they're not over their ex, so there's not really much else that we can do here, so we're kind of stuck at this standstill. Or if it's the two of you being together because of the hurt and pain that's happened in the connection prior to, not really sure how we can move forward from here until, Gemini forgives me, or, whatever the case, right? Now, when we come to this Queen of Cups, and I think it's interesting in their fleeting thoughts, there's two court cards here of feminine and masculine. That's kind of saying to me very literally, your person is really weighing out things in an emotional mindset, but also in a very rational and logical mindset. So in an emotional mindset, it's a desire for them to want to be there for you, want to be supportive of you. It's almost kind of like a protector kind of energy. It's like wanting to like heal your heart and like be there, be a support, help you through this. But then at the same time, with this King of Swords, it's like logically probably not the best thing to do. So I feel with your person, why I say I don't necessarily believe you guys are communicating. And I keep flopping between the two because I really do feel for a lot of people, you're going to fall into one of these two categories. If this is a new person, how this is kind of manifesting is like a reluctance to move forward and invest because they feel you're still stuck on your past and you're not over it. If this is a connection you guys have been in for some time, it's more or less them not knowing how to move forward with this particular, like with you guys relationship, because of things that have transpired. So for them, it's almost like being an ambivalence in a sense. Like every part of them wants to reach out and be around you and canoodle you and love on you and stuff like that. But the other side of them is saying that's probably not the smartest thing to do right now. You know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is focus on myself. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Now, coming into their conscious thoughts being the Emperor, something I can tell you for sure is they are watching you. They do think about you a great deal. And when I say watching you, I don't mean like stalking you, but I mean, they could be looking at, your social media and stuff. They're still very much concerned about your doings and happenings and what you got going on and stuff like that. So it's kind of like them being a quiet viewer in a sense. And I feel the reason for that, and this is just my own inference in this, I feel this person is kind of at a crossroads with you. And I say that whether this is a relationship you've been in or if this is a new person, it's almost like they're in a battle within themselves because they're very drawn to you, very much want to be around you, but it's like something is preventing them from doing that. It's so they're rationalizing for whatever reason, right? This can't move forward from here until XYZ in so many words. But this person's energy consciously is very much focused on you. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel this very much like kind of looking at you on social media. I don't think they outside your job or outside your house looking at you or anything, but they think about you a lot and they're very much keeping an eye on you, if I could say it that way. Now, with their subconscious impression slash projection, oh, that is not shocking in the least. we have the Eight of Swords here. This is interesting and kind of makes me question everything that I have just said. Hmm, interesting. Interesting. That's why I love this card. Not this particular card, I mean this position in the spread. Okay, so here's the thing. Gemini, how can I say this to where this will make sense? Okay, how can I say this to okay. So here's the thing. Gemini, I don't doubt that you guys emotionally are dealing with something right now. I don't think that this is not true, right? Whether it's related to this person or, like I said, a history of relationships, right? I feel that energy is present. However, especially with this being the Three of Swords, it's not as, do I want to say not as serious? It's not as much as a big deal as I believe your person of interest is making it out to be, right? And this is me getting to their projection before what their actual subconscious impression is, right? So I feel this person's projection onto you of this Eight of Swords is them making this Three of Swords out to be something like they're making this Three of Swords out to be the world in the reverse, if I could say it that way, right? Because world in the reverse is like unfinished business with your past, right? That is completely like stopping your path from moving forward. Like you cannot, pass go and collect $200. You're stuck in the same, cycle. Nothing is going to shift or change until this is dealt with, right? Because it's necessary in order to progress forward. You know what I'm saying? That's how your person of interest is perceiving where you are. But what I'm seeing is that you're not there because you're the Three of Swords, not world reverse, right? But your person is projecting that onto you. Now, funny thing, why on earth would they do that, right? With their subconscious impression being the Eight of Swords, your person of interest is in a forever self imposed prison, right? So it's almost like with this person, everything that is for them, everything that is in alignment with them, every, position they are intended to be in life, any person that would be a great friend, a great networking partner, business partner, whatever, anything that's in alignment with this person, they almost create a crossroads, right? So an opportunity comes into their life and they hold themselves back from said opportunity. The trigger for this is the person, place, thing, situation, circumstance being in alignment with them, right? So what this person does is they rationalize their own indecisiveness, right? So it's almost like a fear of them being 10 toes down in something. So whenever something comes along that's in alignment with them, and mind you, this is subconscious. So this person is not consciously aware that they're doing this because looking at their fleeting and conscious thoughts, that's in stark contrast to this, right? So if I go back to another example, how I said like the world in the reverse versus the Three of Swords, right? This Two of Wands in the reverse would be in stark contrast to the Eight of Swords, right? Because the Two of Wands in the reverse, like, yeah, okay, we're a little stuck here, not really sure how to move forward, right? Because, it's some stuff in the past that I need to kind of look at or some things I need to clear up. There's a decision that I need to make. Do I want to stick in my old ways, right? Or do I want to move forward? Do I want to stick with what I know versus do I want to take a chance on the unknown, right? Your person's overall energy being the devil in the reverse would be saying, yeah, let's screw the past, don't want to do what I've done before. Let's take a chance on the unknown. But Eight of Swords is self imposed prison. So it's saying to myself, I am stuck here. There are no options. There is no way out of this. There's no way around this. You know what I mean? Must be the universe, like a little, spiritual bypass. And let's throw in some of that in there. It's like, must be the universe, must be a sign from the Lord, you know what I mean? Or maybe not this lifetime. Maybe this is the universe's way of telling me that in this particular lifetime, this isn't for me, right? It's a lot of rationalizations that they use because they're not aware and haven't done the work to kind of dive down deeper into this like shadow aspect of themselves, of there being a fear of decisiveness. So them making a decision, taking a chance, going like all into something is terrifying for them. So the smallest little inkling of a thing, right? So, Gemini, whatever it is that you're going through, if, I don't know, you got past trauma from relationships, right? And I don't know, for some reason, maybe it's, well, that makes sense. Mercury retrograde will have you kind of reflecting on things. So you have this stuff, at the top of your heart, and passing in conversation with this person you mentioned, like, I was journaling the other day, or I was watching, a video on my favorite YouTuber's channel, Tarot Therapy, right? And I started realizing, like, wow, in a lot of my past relationships, like, I've been kind of codependent, or, every single person that, I've been in a relationship with has cheated on me, whatever, like any kind of little epiphany that you had and you share with this person. And then all of a sudden, a comment that you make in passing is like red flag, warning sign, right? And now they're in this headspace of like, wow, they're emotionally unavailable. They're not, in a place to be in a relationship. They're still hung up over the fact that, their exes cheated on them. And I am on this journey now of wanting to make better decisions and not get into toxic patterns and toxic relationships. And I'm trying to break generational curses. I definitely can't move forward with Gemini, even though Gemini seems to be the most idyllic person for me. Everything that it is that I've been praying for and asking spirit, the universe for, burning candles for, like, here's this Gemini person that is all of those things. But, they're dealing with repressed emotions or stuck on their past, you know what I'm saying? Or can't get over things I've done in the past. So this isn't going to work out. Gosh, that sucks, man. It's terrible, right? But with this person, it's a pattern of doing this. So for them, what I can say, like the real root of this, like the motivating behavior behind, well, not behavior, but the motivating influence behind this is really like a little bit of a fear of vulnerability, a fear of full-on emotional availability, a fear of personal accountability, a little bit of being a commitment phobe, you know what I'm saying? But all of those kind of fall under that same umbrella of a fear of vulnerability, and a little bit of learned helplessness too. We could sprinkle a little learned helplessness in there, because I feel with this person, and it would be funny if they were a Capricorn, because this is very much Capricorn behavior. I'm not even going to bullshit you. Wait, what is it the young folks say? I'm not even going to hold you. But this is Capricorn behavior, because a lot of Capricorns have very much of like a lone wolf kind of mentality. And I mean, even if this person isn't a Capricorn, that's what their presentation could be, like someone who, does a lot of stuff alone, travels alone, goes out to dinner alone. Don't, like, not saying that they don't have friends, they might not, but if they do, it's just still they have a very lone ranger type of mentality or approach to life, in a sense, to where I don't want to say they don't feel like they don't need people, but it's just they maneuver through life solo dolo a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I feel that within itself is a defense mechanism, because with this person, it's like a fear of allowing people, which is so contradictory. It's a fear of allowing people close to them, because, and I mean, it would really go back to a lack of trust for themselves, honestly, because it's the thought of, if I'm by myself and I don't let people close to me, I won't get hurt and I'm protected and I'm safe, right? But if I allow a person in, It's like I can pretty much account for everything that could possibly go wrong by my hand. But when you bring another human being in, it's like that other human being is like up for question because they're going to do, what they're going to say, how they're going to react, how they're not going to react. It's like an X factor in a sense. So I feel with your person of interest, it's a fear of letting someone too close for that reason. So it's almost like they sabotage it. Anytime there's an opportunity for a person to get too close to them, they sabotage it. But the thing I say that's so interesting about this, it's in their subconscious. So this person doesn't even see it this way. In this person's mind, which I feel their conscious and fleeting thoughts are a beautiful depiction of this. Like, I wish I could like take my eyes out of my head and like plug them into you guys so y'all could see how I see cards, because this is the most beautiful contrast I've ever seen of like subconscious and like conscious, because in this person's mind they're really seeing this as like a very healthy way of perceiving things. I want to open up to this person, I want to save them, I want to rescue them, like all of the things that they feel that they're lacking, right? I want to be that for them, but logically that wouldn't be healthy because they wouldn't be learning their lessons, and this might turn into another codependent type of situation if I tried to rescue them from this. And because of this, we can't move forward, right? So it's like this may hurt them, but I'm really helping them. And I see that same kind of perception, even if, like I was saying, if this isn't new and this is a situation you've been in, it's like if this person is withholding affection from you, or, you know, withholding sex from you, I don't know, whatever it is they're withholding. If they're withholding something from you, their rationalization and their mind for this is, I'm helping Gemini, right? Like if I keep seeing them, even if this was a situationship and, you know, the person, you know, stops sleeping with you or whatever because you're like, I want to be in a relationship, and they're like, no, it's like me withholding from Gemini, I'm helping them, and it's going to make things better, but we can't keep going forward like this, is how they're rationalizing this. And in a sense, there is a sense of care, there is a sense of concern, it is a sense of focus that's on you, but this person is completely oblivious that in reality they're just doing the same thing that they always do. It's like you're terrified of getting close, so you find something wrong to create a distance between you and this person so you never have to get close to the person, right? Now, looking at their feelings towards you, oh, come on. We have the Temperance in the reverse, which is Sagittarius energy. Geez Louise. So with their feelings towards you, Gemini, it's in flux. It's like this person, they're very up and down with stuff. Their feelings towards you are very unstable. You feel what I'm saying? Which is kind of understandable because, like I said, their mental space is very stable. You know, their subconscious is very grounded, but so their feelings are constantly in flux. And I feel this Queen of Cups and this King of Swords is an ideal depiction of the flux that I'm seeing with the Temperance, in the sense that it's like an emotional draw to you, but their logic is pulling them away. So it's kind of like a sense of confusion or ambivalence, like I was saying, that they're in. And that's what I'm seeing in the conscious thoughts with the Emperor as well, of them like being fixated on you, looking at your social media, and on the inside it's like they're yearning and desiring to be around you. Girl, not again, Alexa. I'm gonna order it today. I'm just gonna order it today so this can stop. Is she gonna say it again? Oh, she's gonna say it again. I'm sorry, Gemini.
Princess India, here's your reminder. Change the A. C. Filter. Just let me know if this is done.
I'm gonna order it today. Okay, anyway, but I feel that's a perfect depiction of the flux. So it's them like inside desiring to be around you. But the thing I'm saying with this person, thank you guys. My guys just said self-denial. That is an interesting word, and I could do a whole lecture on that. it's self-denial. It's like this person, and it's not the good kind of self-denial. It's almost like how this person keeps themselves on the straight and narrow is by denying themselves of the things that they truly desire, which is kind of weird because that's kind of a pathology within itself to where people kind of get off on that. You know what I mean? Of them like truly wanting something and them, and I can see that with this devil in the reverse. It's like keeping yourself from the thing that you truly desire, like masochism. That's the word. It's masochistic. It's like causing themselves punishment and pain by abstaining from their true desires. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, but their feelings towards you is very up and down and unstable. You know what I mean? And it's not like love hate, but it's just that desire, that push pull kind of hot and cold type of deal. You know what I mean? And I feel like my own this is my own inference of it, and it's kind of pulling the temperance up into this headspace. But my inference with this would be, if I were to project this into the future, it's this person further rationalizing the up and down with their emotions towards you, but externalizing it and saying, oh, we're not compatible. We weren't really compatible because, and, rationalizing it with different things. I'm on this journey. They're still stuck in this. And all of that stuff to further solidify why it is there should be a distance between the two of you. So the thing I can say with this Gemini, the way that this connection session is kind of playing out, if there's a person, like I said, you guys are dating or this is something new, and you're kind of wondering why, if it's new, why this isn't progressing, why this person isn't really reaching out to you, this is the whole process as to why. If you guys have been dealing with this person and you're wondering why this person came back into your life, or why they broke up with you, or why they're kind of lingering around, like why they're still looking at your stories, you know what I'm saying? But they're not, taking any action to move stuff forward. This is kind of giving you insight into why. Do I feel like this reading gives you insight into where this is going in the foreseeable future? No, I feel like the only insight it's giving you into what's happening in the foreseeable future would be what psychology tells you, which is past behavior is the best predictor for future behavior. And based on that, it would seem like this person would continue exactly where they are into the foreseeable future. So them not really doing anything to heal that. You know what I'm saying? And even if y'all went to freaking therapy tomorrow and started working on what it is that you have repressed, I feel this person would still try to find, well, not try, but they just would, they would find something else that would prevent them from investing. So it's almost like a person who goes into situations, and this is longer than I wanted it to be. It's a person who goes into situations like subconsciously, like consciously, their presentation is, I want to be in a connection, want to be in a relationship. You're super dope. You're super cool. But it's like their subconscious, their shadow, however you want to look at it, is looking, like checking the landscape for something wrong. And once they find it, they're going to latch on to that, puff it up to try to self-protect or what have you. But I'm going to go ahead and throw the dice of resonance. Go ahead and ask a yes or no question. I always make faces when I throw these. Oh, you didn't say your question out loud, Gemini, so we're going to have to throw again. We have female moon, Virgo, Libra, and friend. So female moon, and so they could be a Virgo or Libra moon. And then we have friend. And I started saying with these, for the signs that come up in on the dice of resonance, maybe it could be a sign for you to go watch those readings. Maybe you should go watch Libra and Virgo. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that in your chart. Just throwing it out there. So go ahead and ask your question again, Gemini. Say it out loud. Scream it at the phone. Oh, Interesting. The answer to your question is hell no to the no, no, no. Hell no to the no. Hell no is the answer to your question. So, Gemini, that has been your connection session for August. Most certainly, let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, I love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my